Más noticias, más exclusivas, más entretenimiento. Solo aquí en Beat News.
Y automáticamente hicieron clic y fue ahí donde ellos hicieron la canción de Familiar, se la mandó en inglés y ya pues J Balvin le puso pues su tono, ¿no? Do you have any...
Una primera pregunta, por favor.
Sí, claro.
Hi, Liam. Alejandra García from SNG.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Qué tal?
Todo bien. ¿Cómo estás? Well, my first question, I would like to know how has been the process of now being a father, because in recent statements we have seen that you would like to have more time with your child. And I would also like to know how different is working as a solo artist and now that you're in a band, making decisions.
In terms of like my relationship that I have with my son and my family, I feel like my dad was a really, really hard worker, and I feel like one of the most important things that I learned of him is if you want to get something, you have to work very hard for it. And obviously my son's going to grow up in an extremely privileged position, and I think it's really important for me right now. I could be at home with him every waking moment. It's lovely, and I love spending time with Bear. It's fantastic. But then what am I really teaching him? You know, and if I can start off early by teaching him, you have to work very hard for the things that you want to get in life. And you know, I'm also out here trying to secure his future and different things. That's how I feel about it. I was very hassled by like UK press and people, you know, saying things about me for going away. But you know, I have a job to do. I have an opportunity. I'd be very silly not to take it. And you know, I think it's worth it for me and my family. So you know, I just want to show him. It's the funny thing about success changes after you have a child. It's not so much about whether or not this is amazing, look how good this is. It's more that I want to show him, look at this is what I was doing, and it's more, you know, I want him to be proud of me as much as I'm proud of him. In terms of being solo, I mean, it's been crazy. It was really interesting coming out, and I'm so glad that I got a wonderful start off for Mr. Ed Sheeran. And that's been one of the most magical things for me so far, is that the musical community and people around me who are like these musical greats like Zed, and you know, people like him and Charlie Puth, and obviously, you know, Jose, getting to work with these people and then wanting to work with me made me, you know, feel a lot more confident in myself coming out of, you know, this band that had just gone crazy. It was quite daunting to start off with, but you know, I'm really in the swing of it now. I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm loving the freedom, chance to make music, and I'm enjoying watching everybody else as well. I know Harry has just literally been here, and I've missed him again, which is hilarious. We're like crossing paths around the world constantly, but you know, I bump into them every so often. I went to Louis' house recently, and like I say, I'm just proud of what they're making and how they're expressing themselves and being the people they want to be, rather than just being them guys that were in a band, you know. So it's been a lot of fun to not only have my thing going off, but watching, you know, the surprise of everybody else's as well. Gracias.
So many people are waiting for an album. Any idea when that's gonna happen?
The album's actually out in September, and
You keep going.
yeah, the album's out in September. I'm super excited about it. I was just speaking to somebody and saying, you know, I started making music and trying to do this when I was 14 years old, which is extremely. It was the first time I was on TV, the first time I met Simon and Cheryl, funny enough. And yeah, it's been 10 years in the making to get to this point, so I'm extremely proud of the fact that I'm getting to finally, you know, release an album after what has been a dream for 10 years. So yeah, September time.
Su álbum sale en septiembre, amigos. ¿Alguna pregunta de...?
Hi. Welcome.
Hola.
Welcome again.
Thank you.
This is not your first time here. So when we met you, you auditioned to be a solo singer in the X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're back again at being solo. Are you nervous? Are you excited? And Mexico has been a very important part for like One Direction, and of course would you come on a world tour to Mexico when you release your album?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I definitely need to spend a lot more time in Mexico. I feel like I didn't expect the reaction I got when I landed here just now, and it's been incredible. It's something I've not experienced for a while. I play a lot of shows, but it's different when people just turn up for no reason outside your hotel. And there was the army were there yesterday. I don't know what the army were there for, but they were there, and a mariachi band as well, which was quite fun. And then we all sang a song together. And like I say, I haven't done that for a while. And yeah, it was pretty daunting starting off becoming a solo artist. I wasn't really sure. I had a different idea of what fame was when I was younger. I feel like it took me a while to grow into the idea of what it actually is, and not letting, you know, different things, you know, bother you within the day of what becomes the job. And yeah, I think that was what was quite daunting. I was like, do I really want to go into this all again? Do I want to start this off again? It's a lot of pressure, you know. But I just thought about it differently, and now I love it. You know, I spend a lot more time around my fans, and I spend a lot more time, and I think it's important the people that you have around you at the time as well, managers and people that look after you, and I feel like I have a really good set of people, and like a little road family right now, which is quite fun. So yeah, I definitely will be back in Mexico as soon as possible, and play some shows hopefully.
What kind of singer do you say? Can you say you will be? How can you describe the Liam Payne solo?
Opera. I'm kidding. No, I think my sound, I'm still in the middle of discovering it, because it's been a really wild ride. You know, obviously every song I've released so far has been quite a different thing, even now stepping into Latin, which is completely different for me. And that's been quite fun. I've enjoyed that, and I enjoy the fact that I get the chance to do so. So my album's very much a mixed bag, but I kind of tried to make it so it was a playlist. I feel like the world is what is listening to playlists right now. They want different voices, you know, they want to hear different things, and people are used to that right now. So it's not something you should be afraid of. It's something I feel like I wanted to welcome more so, and it's worked out really well. I've got to meet some great people and make some fantastic songs. So yeah, that's kind of been the way it's been rolling so far.
La señorita le preguntó que si vendría a México una vez que salga su álbum, que si vendría a dar una gira aquí. Él contestó que sí, que le ha gustado mucho México, que lo han tratado muy bien, que en los primeros días había un mar de gente, y creo que todavía hay un mar de gente afuera de su hotel, incluso había una banda de mariachi, pero que es muy distinto cuando vino con su banda, cuando era más chavito, no entendía el concepto de la fama, lo que era ser Liam Payne, miembro de One Direction, y ahorita lo disfruta más. Tiene como que un grupo de gente, ya su familia, que va con él a todos lados, que viajan a todos lados, y pues le está gustando, y pues que claro que sí va a regresar a México.
You've got a fantastic memory.
Thank you. I try.
I'm not making it very easy for you right
No,
now.
I try.
Sorry.
Siguiente.
Hi, Liam.
Hello.
I have two questions for you. If you could share with us a little more details from your new album. And I would like to know, you as a young father, because there has been a really huge problem in Mexico City with this reggaeton music, R&B, hip-hop music, because there are some people that consider that they may have a bad influence on young kids. You as a young dad, what influence do you think will have this kind of music on the younger generations?
That's an interesting question. I think being a young father, I think the main thing is it's about protection more than anything. And because I'm quite into this world and quite studied with it, because I've kind of lived the life of what social media and things are, I understand there's a lot of pressure on kids, I think, more than anything. I'm not sure about reggaeton music in particular, because I don't understand a lot of the words, so they could be saying anything and I wouldn't really know. But yeah, I think it puts a lot of pressure on kids. I think the thing is, people have to understand it in a world where like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in general. It needs to be more light-hearted and have more fun. You know, I think if we take a microscope to everything, it's just going to make everything a problem, rather than just letting things go a little bit. And it's important you teach your kids the right way, and you let them listen to what you want them to listen to, sort of thing. And that's the difficulty with everybody having like little mini computers these days, which is quite crazy. But yeah, I mean, as a dad, I don't know how the future's going to evolve and stuff, but I'm going to try and protect my son as much as possible from different things that I think he shouldn't know at certain ages, maybe. I think it's about staging it, really. But every parent looks after their own kid the way they want to do that, and that's down to them. That's on them, really. What was your other question again? Sorry, I'm not as good memory as him.
About the new album.
Do you want to translate that one
Yes,
first before
Le preguntan que, dado que es un papá primerizo, y él es joven, que si música como el reggaetón y todos estos problemas que hay en México de ciertas personas que exageran, creyendo que lo que dicen las canciones van a afectar a cómo van a crecer sus hijos. Él dice que no le toma mucha atención, no le presta mucha atención a eso, porque uno, no entiende casi nada de lo que dice el reggaetón, y número dos, él es un fiel creyente de que las cosas, la educación que tú le das a tus hijos, cómo van a crecer, ¿no? O sea, que básicamente es lo que le enseñan en su casa y no lo que tienen en la calle, porque incluso en la casa ya existen pequeñas computadoras como iPads, etcétera. Entonces, se trata de no dejar que un iPad eduque a tu hijo, sino que ustedes eduquen a sus hijos.
Su casa.
Yes.
That was the only one. I was like, I might know that one. And then the other question was...
What's about the new album? If you could share more details about
More details.
Que si puede compartir detalles de su álbum nuevo.
What he said. Yeah, there's a few more collaborations and things I have on there, and then there are some songs I have. It's like kind of like a 50-50 mix. I've got like half collaborations, and then half of the stuff is just me that I wrote with other people over this time. And a lot of people don't know, but I went through a bit of a funny time before writing this album. So there's little stories and things that I haven't really told, and I'm usually extremely open with a lot of things, but this is something I kind of kept to myself, except for inside the music. So you can kind of make what you want of it, but you see if you can see the little things.
Dice que va a tener, el álbum se divide en dos partes básicamente. Tiene la mitad son canciones que tiene con otras personas, la mitad son canciones que él escribió junto con otras personas y que son historias que pues nunca le ha contado a nadie y que son pues de él nada más.
Hi, Liam. America from Pop Team.
Roy,
Over here.
behind the phone.
I thought that voice was in my head. Are you my conscience?
I hope not.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not a good idea, believe me.
Ooh.
I'd like to know, how has your vision of music evolved now that you're solo?
How's my vision of music evolved?
Yeah.
¿Cómo ha evolucionado su visión ante la música?
Sí, señor. Yes, my vision of music, I actually really like to look at Jay for this more than anybody, Jose, because when I sat with him in an interview recently, I love the passion that he has for, Latin reggaeton music. It's incredible, and I also think he's, he's something that you guys must be very, very proud of. I mean, he was #2 on Spotify. He got Time Best Album of the Year so far. I mean, what an achievement! I've never seen anything like it, and all respect to him. But in respect to the music, it's just how proud he is, and how what's the word I'm looking for? Of your country, your music, and the language and everything. And he really wants to push for it to be great. So I was thinking, damn, I need something like that. I want to, obviously I don't speak Spanish, so. My thing that I've kind of dotted around a lot this time. I feel like I might focus something more in on a sound maybe for the next album. For this album, it's been kind of difficult though, and I think for everybody kind of goes through this as they make a solo album. Because I didn't know what to do when I left the band. I was writing like pop rock music when I was in the band, and then I left, and I know that I like hip hop, but I also know that I'm not Eminem, and I should stick to what I know and different things. So a lot of things kind of go through your mind. So my vision of music's kind of changed as the time's gone by. But I have great people around me, great ears. I have great people that send me songs, and I've gotten to write with some amazing musicians. So I've just enjoyed like the creation of this album more than anything, and I've learned a lot.
Le gusta ver a J Balvin como un ejemplo porque es una persona que, pues ya saben, o sea, tiene ante todo lo que es el idioma español, y al momento de estar cenando con él, pues él ve, y después de trabajar con J Balvin, pues obviamente ve como la pasión que le pone, ¿no? Entonces dice que cuando él salió de One Direction, obviamente él no sabía ni para dónde ir, que no quería ser ni como un Eminem, ni como, o sea, tiene que pasar el tiempo para él encontrar su propio estilo, y que pues está rodeado de muy buenas personas, está rodeado de un muy buen equipo que lo está ayudando a encontrar pues quién va a ser él, ¿no?
You're great.
It's difficult though.
Yeah, it's quite. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
You're good.
I say a lot of things. Who's next?
Okay, hi Liam. Over
Oh,
here.
hi, Nima. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.
So, you understand a lot of Spanish and you're friends with J Balvin. Will you ever sing in Spanish? And also ask you, how's your relationship with Latin music, other than the featuring and all that? You often listen to Latin music. How do you see it in terms of being a superstar of Anglo music, listening to Latin music?
Le preguntan que si en algún momento le gustaría cantar en español, y que cómo ve el español ahorita que está ya como solo. Sorry.
You do? Honestly, I've got to listen to a lot. Obviously, I went to the Meows the other night, and when they play the Who's Up for the Awards, you get to listen to lots of different music and see in the rehearsals as well. I thought Sebastian Yatra, that's the one I'm looking for. Sexy guy. I thought he was really great. I love what he did, actually. And he came and said hello to me after he won his award, and he was a really, really nice boy. It's lovely when you meet nice people. In terms of like my favourite Latin song at the moment, I love habalr, which is obviously by this guy. Tantas son las horas. I'm trying to learn it, but it's so hard. There's one word that's just bothering me in the middle that I can't do yet, so I'm not going to sing the whole chorus. I'll leave it there. But yeah, someone actually said to me a few weeks ago, they kind of said, you know, there's been a lot of different languages that have come in and out of music. You know, we had this in the UK with a totally different thing, but is Latin music going to stick around? Is it going to stay? And for me, it's like it's really cemented itself within the industry. Starting off with Despacito, obviously, which just went crazy. I mean, you know. So I think it definitely is. You can't not listen to these songs and think, wow, this is beautiful. Even if you don't understand what's going on, it makes you think summer, it makes you think happy. And I love that. And so many people are getting involved with Latin music now that it's going to stick around, you know, with things like Spotify and the playlisting and the way things work. I definitely think it's here to stay, which is fantastic. I love it. And your boy is doing wonders for it, so fantastic.
Okay, but would you sing in Spanish at some point? Would you like that?
Well, I do. I sing a little bit in Spanish in Familia when Jay's not around. I kind of fill in for him.
Okay.
Like, J Balvin. That's my little impression. Yeah, so I would definitely. I'm going to learn Aurora. It's my thing.
La canción de ahora de J Balvin es la que lo está enseñando ciertas cosas, nada más se sabe ciertas son las horas. ¿No?
I need to look at the words if I sing the rest of it. I can't.
Y que mucha gente le ha preguntado que si la música hispana va a quedarse como impregnada como está ahorita después de Despacito, que Despacito la lanzó muchísimo pues a todas partes del mundo, y pues él dice que sí, que eso espera y que le gustaría seguir trabajando con gente habla hispana. Yes.
Hello, Liam. Here.
Hello.
Can you talk more about the new album? I mean, the producers and maybe the title of the album. And
oh my goodness, now you're asking. The title is. I haven't really confirmed it yet, so I don't want to. I say a lot of things. Like, there's a thing at the moment. I said One Direction had come back in 2020. Did I know that? Not really. I just kind of said it because I thought I might be right, so I'll have a go. And these things stick with me, so I don't want to say the name yet, because just in case it does change again, because then I just look like what is going on. In terms of producers, I mean, starting off with somebody like Steve Mack, he won Producer of the Year at the Brit Awards. And he has made songs like, I think he did, it wasn't Anywhere for Rita Ora, he did another one for Rita that I wanted to steal off her, but she took it, damn. Yeah, we had like a thing over a song, I was like, I want that song, can you give it me? She was like, no, absolutely not. So yeah, he's made some fantastic songs. I got to work with a guy called Oak, who's a really big hip-hop producer, and my thing is, if I'm working with a producer who makes hip-hop, I'm going to make hip-hop, it's happening. There's another one, who else did I work with that was fantastic? But that's my thing really, I guess, the way I'm saying. A lot of the producers that I've had, they're unique to their certain styles. And this is why my album kind of varies in a lot of different types of music. Because I don't want to go into like, I don't know, I wouldn't make Jay make it like a weird opera song. It just wouldn't go together. So, you know, when I use a producer, I make sure that they do what they do, because that's what they do best. So there is like almost like rappier songs on that album as well, and different beats. And that's kind of where I started off. I think when you're a solo artist and you want to make something a bit different, you kind of really go this way. And I started off, and some of it was like really rappy, and it was like, this is a little bit too much. So you kind of just come back into the middle until you hit the sweet spot. And then that's when you start to make the best part of your album. And that takes a while, but I think everyone goes too far left to start off with. Yeah.
Le preguntaron que si por favor podía dar un poco más de detalles del álbum. Dijo que no puede dar el nombre porque no sabe si ese va a ser el nombre. Que incluso él siempre ha dicho que One Direction va a estar juntos en el 2020, pero pues que todavía tampoco sabe. Así que por eso se arriesga a decir que no sabe. Y que el álbum va a tener mucho, o sea, que tiene muy buenos productores, que él básicamente, música que él escucha, trata de como que seducir por allá al productor, y ha trabajado con ciertos productores como Oak, right?
Is that the name? Yeah, isn't it? Like the tree.
Como el árbol, Oak se escribe. Entonces, sí.
He's a big guy as well, he's like a tree. He's huge.
Que es tan alto como un árbol. ¿Alguien más? ¿Quién sigue?
Hi, right here. Hi,
hello,
again.
at the back. What's happening?
Hi, how are you again? Well, you have so many followers that they are from 18 to 22, and we are very close to the presidential elections. They are about to vote in Mexico. What's the best advice that you could give them about going to vote and be involved in what's going on in the future in the country?
Now, I don't know much about Mexico in terms of that sort of thing, but in terms of politics. But I would say when you vote, I mean, go with what you think is right, rather than... I think a lot of people will talk to people and you'll get a vibe off somebody, but there's often a lot of people who don't really know what they're talking about, they just pretend to. So I think definitely like research your stuff if you're going to vote for someone, like make sure you know what's going on. Obviously in the UK we've had some crazy different votes for Brexit and all sorts of different things, and, you know, which is really tough to decide on because I don't know what the hell goes on with that stuff. You know, something that I definitely want to pay attention to in later life, but at the moment for me right now it's hard to remember my own name sometimes, so I kind of struggle with that. But I think, you know, you have the internet, you have your research, you know, you have to trust your sources and then vote for who you want to vote for, and happy voting.
Le preguntan
and vote for me as well, true. If I might say, I can do a job on something.
Que tiene muchos followers que por primera vez van a poder votar, y como muchos de ustedes saben, pues ya se acercan las elecciones y le preguntan que qué consejo le puede dar a todos estos chavos.
To vote for me for? What's the election
president?
For? Oh, right. Okay, no, don't vote for me for that. No.
Y pues que cada quien tiene que hacer su propio, tiene que buscar su información, ¿no? Que allá en el internet tiene que votar por quien sea, pero pues que salgan a votar y que voten por él.
I hope it goes well. Who are you voting for? You're not supposed to ask that, actually. Don't tell me. It's like Big Brother. Don't tell me.
Hey Liam.
Hello.
Over there. How are you? Welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.
Well, talking about politics. Well, I'm not talking about politics, but a few weeks ago, the whole world got to see the royal wedding.
Yes.
So I want to know what do you think about it. Are you friends with Prince Harry and Meghan? And is it true that they made fun of you when you were singing? Well, you know that.
Well, I don't think anyone's ever given like a, you know, safe or respect in the Royal Abbey before. So I think that kind of surprised them. But I like my band and I wanted to say well done. That's the thing for me, so I was just saying well done. But I think they thought that was quite weird or funny because I was like, so in the Royal Abbey it's like, it's not the place to do that at all. It's like the place to do this and bow, and there's all sorts of rules about what you call the Queen and stuff. I've met the royal family a number of times. I've been really lucky to do so. I thought it was never something I would ever do. And I really like them. I think people forget that they have quite a tough job on because everyone's watching. And I know what that feels like a little bit, not to their extent now, because I think that, you know, the stuff that they do is very, very serious work with different charities. For example, you know, the Queen, you know, running the Commonwealth, you know, they're going after a thing where they're trying to, you know, cure 5 curable types of blindness, which is an amazing thing to do. So I have massive respect for the royal family. I think they get a bit of a hard time of it sometimes in the UK, and I don't think it's really fair. You know, I think they're just trying to be good people, and it's fair enough to them.
Le preguntan de la boda real, que si conoce a la familia real. Él dice que ha tenido la oportunidad de conocerlos en algunas ocasiones, que es una familia a quien él respeta porque pues viven debajo de una lupa, ¿no? Que están constantemente viendo cada movimiento, que él se siente identificado con eso a una muy pequeña escala, no tanto como ellos, pero que respeta mucho pues a la familia real.
La última pregunta.
Hi, Liam. Just
Hello.
one question. In the near future, do you see doing a duet with any of the One Direction members in case you don't come together in...
Dun dun dun, in case we don't come together, don't say that. We'll be after you and stuff, man. I definitely think we will come back together, but for the sake of the question, I would love to do a duet with one of the boys if the right song came along. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't, you know. I know our voices work quite well together, and I know what they're like on stage. I mean, like I say, it's been amazing to watch their difference. If I was going to pick a song I would sing, I would probably pick Slow Hands. I like Slow Hands, it's a good song. It's fantastic. I mean, just to see all these different styles of music coming out, and I've heard all of Louis' album, by the way, which is really, really, really good. I'm not going to tell you too much because it's not my business. But yeah, I think we will come back together. In my head, I have a dream, and it's nice to still dream at this point, even though everything's so fantastic, of like the 5 of us coming back together, putting on a concert all together where we can play like a little mini One Direction festival. I mean, this thing can go on for days. But I think it's really important if we get this bit right now, because the more songs that we have, the longer the concert is. So I mean, you know, it's like a long wait for a big, big concert, and then that would be amazing to do, like, you know, how many different styles of music, all of us back together doing our thing. But right now, you know, everyone's kind of giving each other space. We spend a lot of time together, and I think it's important that we don't tread on each other's toes. It's nice to have something that's yours. If you're, you know, I mean, you must know what it feels like sometimes if you have a sibling and they're doing the same thing as you, and you're like, well, I was doing that. Why are you doing that? You know, I mean, everybody wants their own space, I feel, and they deserve respect in their own right for what they do because they're very good at it. You know, so I think that's mainly the reason. It's not because like we're not friends or any stuff like that. It's just, you know, 5 years together is a long, long time, especially when we didn't know each other. So, I mean, we'll see what the future holds. I'm not going to say any dates because I'm already in trouble once. I will be in trouble again. And, yes.
Le preguntaron que si, dado que no se volvieran a juntar los One Directions, que si le gustaría hacer un dueto con alguno de sus compañeros. Dijo que sí, que obviamente le gustaría, pero que él sí siente, o sea, sí cree, no quiere dar fecha, no quiere decir nada más, pero que sí le gustaría que se vuelva a unir la banda, y que uno de sus sueños es tener un concierto súper grande y majestuoso con todas las canciones de One Direction. Súper grande.
Like it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Todas las canciones de One Direction, incluyendo canciones que ellos estén haciendo ahorita, pero que ahorita cada quien está muy bien con sus propios espacios haciendo las cosas que ellos están haciendo por sí solos.
You need a raise, man. You're so good.
Thanks. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
That was it? Yeah.
That was it. Oh, thank you.
How about that?
Thank you. That was great. Good questions. Thank you, sir. Yeah, can I just say a massive thank you to all of my Mexican fans and people who showed up for me for the last few days. It's been a real lot of fun for me, something I'll definitely never forget. And I've been sending a lot of great videos home as well for my friends and family to see, because it's such a beautiful thing when you show up. So thank you very much, and I'll be back soon. Mexico te amo, I think is what you say.
Yeah.